Hello, my beautiful dancing unicorns. Welcome back to AG University podcast. It is I, your professor and lead dancing unicorn, Anna Grace Newell, on all major platforms. And if you're catching me on YouTube right now, I am what I like to call a slicked weasel, which is where I am fresh out of the shower, wet hair. I'm clean, no makeup, and I'm in my oversized favorite comfy turtle t-shirt. And I just had to get on the mic. I didn't even have time to put on makeup. I was like, you know what? It's a Sunday, which I very rarely record on Sundays, but we had our AG University event last night and I wanted to get a recap out ASAP while it was fresh in my mind, fresh on my brain, all the details to you guys. For so many of you who I know wanted to make it, but just life happened or you're far away from Florida, all of the things. I want to share the messages that came through for the group, for the collective, and also just share with you guys how magical this world is and how magical this universe is. And I honestly can't get over it. This is such a good story. So, little story time, event recap, and of course, a little angel message for you. That's what I'm feeling the flow of this podcast will be, but always open to whatever messages pop into my brain. So, yes, we have been in the midst of tropical storm season. And the weather has been so gray and so rainy every single day leading up to the event, including pretty much the day of the event. It was predicted to rain. There was a big storm cloud coming over us. And one of my really good friends from high school, we've been friends since we were 14, she came in town to stay with me. Her name's Catherine. And Catherine came in town to stay with me because she was like, I really want to be at your event. Could I come stay in your guest room? I was like, yes, absolutely. Come on down. And she lives in 30A, so a few hours away, but still in Florida. So anyways, she came in and we had such a fun time. We literally yapped all day Friday. I mean, we just yap because we don't get to see each other that often. Somehow I would feel like we stay in touch, but like a year will go by and I haven't seen her and we haven't caught up. So we will have like the last year to unpack, but it's so fun because every time I'm with her, I feel like we're back in high school. And anyways, so she was with me and I was really thankful for her because she ended up helping a lot for the event, helping me prep. And she works in events as well. So it really worked out beautifully. But the day of, I told her, I was like, listen, same with Austin. Austin kept being like, what's your backup plan if it rains or if the weather's bad or like, what are we doing? You know, he's a coach. He's logical. I was like, guys, I was in the Akashic Records 6 weeks ago. I saw September 14th. I saw the location, specifically this location where we were on the beach. It wasn't just like any beach, it was this specific location. And I was like, I saw September 14th. I saw the time, I saw the location, and it wasn't raining. And I'm psychic. Okay. So just trust me. But I understand the weather in Florida is so kooky crazy. 1 second it can be doing one thing and then you blink and we're in a whole nother whirlwind. So, but I just told them, I was like, y'all, I promise you it's going to be fine. Even if it rains, then I guess the Akashic Records wanted us to do it in the rain. Like that was my mentality. I was like, rain or shine, it's going to happen. And we really had a full house. We had a couple people last minute, probably like 5 or 6 girls that weren't able to make it just due to travel plans or everyone's kind of getting a little back to school cold right now, just a few things. But other than that, like we had a full spread and everyone was traveling from all over. And I was like, the show must go on. These girls are traveling. I'm going to provide a service for them no matter what. If we have to invite them into our home and our living room, I'm going to find a way. So anyways, we woke up that morning and Catherine and I went to Publix. And on the way to Publix, the sun was shining. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it was going to be sunshiny today. Everyone was doubting me. The sun is shining. And I recorded a vlog. If you guys want to see the vlog, it's on AG University Podcast, Instagram, and my main Instagram. I vlogged the day leading up to it because I woke up and I was super nervous. I don't know why. It wasn't even nervous. It was maybe just like I was really excited. It was a combination of everything, but it's a totally new fusion, this event that we did, because it was combining sound healing and movement and breath and Reiki and Akashic Records and all of these things that individually I have spent a lot of time doing, but it's really cool to actually bring people together in person, see their beautiful faces, and just kind of marry all of these modalities together. And this was the first time that I had this many kind of different healing modalities going at once. And, you know, there's just like it's a learning curve. There's certain things like how's this going to flow? How much time should we spend here? More like the logistics. I'm never nervous about the actual work because I know it's just going to flow through me how it's meant to. But I like to have at least a plan so I stay on a timetable so I don't just like float away into the cosmos and then all of a sudden I'm like, oops, we haven't done X, Y, and Z and that was promised or, whatever. I want people to always feel they get everything they paid for as well. So practice makes perfect. But anyways, we went to Publix that day. We got we were getting some waters and just some things to have on the beach so that everyone was extra comfortable. We like filled coolers with water and had electrolytes. And I was like, I really want to get some balloons because we were going to have a check-in station, which if you guys saw my Instagram, Austin and Zane were our security/event staff. And they checked everyone in, checked their name off, gave them wristbands, the cutest AGU staff we could ever ask for. But I was like, we really need some balloons. So we go to Publix and they typically always have unicorn balloons, probably, I would imagine, for like a little girl's birthday party. But as you know, we are the dancing unicorns. And of course, we get to Publix and they're sold out of the typical unicorn balloons they have. And all they have are a few unicorn balloons left up at the front that say, have a magical birthday. And Catherine and I got so tickled because I was like, one thing about me, I'm taking those unicorn balloons home with me. And we just kept joking. I'm like, I feel like the birthday was meant to be. It's got to be someone's birthday today, right? Like, it's someone's birthday. Maybe someone will show up at the event and we're like, it was your birthday. We knew it. I was just kind of being silly. I was like, let's get the balloons. So we get some unicorn balloons and some hot pink balloons. We get our waters and we just get all our, our amenities that we need for this event because it is literally beachfront. We were feet in the sand. So we go to Publix. We vlog all of our adventures. I come back here. I do a mic check. I do a run through. I did like a full out energy somatic session with myself just to practice the cadence along with the music. So I kind of know what points to do certain moves when the music builds in order to optimize the emotional release in everyone's body. So for anybody that's new to this work, that is what rhythmic healing is. It's a combination of movement and breath and dance to free up any stuck, stale stagnation in the body. So I did a run through and made sure essentially like my headset would stay on. I just hadn't done everything like full out. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really confident. And then all of a sudden at this point, it's about 3:00, just dark clouds start rolling in, just real dark. It starts getting dark. And I'm like, nope. That was not that was not in the records. Like, that's not our story. Nope. So I'm like, okay. I look at Catherine. I'm like, I'm not going to check the weather because I know that the weather isn't really that reliable in Florida on the ocean, but will you check the weather? And she kind of looks at me and she's like, okay. I could tell she didn't want to tell me. She's like, it's looking like a storm's coming through, but it's okay. And I was like, no, I'm putting us in a bubble. My angels know what to do. And we're going to be in a weather bubble and it's going to go all around us, but not on top of us. And I was kind of kidding, but also not really. I was also like, I'm serious. Angels, we brought all these people from all over the United States. I literally had one girl who drove straight here from Michigan. Like, I was like, the show will go on and it's going to be a damn good show. Okay. Like, I want them to feel really amazing coming out of this. I want them to feel light as a feather and just happy and, worth their travels. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get ready. I put on my makeup. I did my space buns. Obviously, that's my signature hairdo for all of my events. Put on my space buns, get on my swimsuit, put on my cover up. I packed the car. Catherine and I are, it was kind of funny. It was a lot of stuff. We had all these pillows and blankets and speakers and all the things. We get there. It's raining. We're parked at the event with our happy birthday balloons. Okay. All of these details are important. Stay with me. We're parked at the event. And Catherine is like, oh my gosh, you know what? I didn't even think about. So Catherine actually, I'm having her come on my podcast next week because I want her to tell her story of how she stared down the barrel between life and death. And she was very, very, very sick. And she received a transplant. And when you receive a transplant, they call it your rebirth. And she was like, my mom just wished me happy rebirth day. Today's my rebirth day from 3 years of beating this illness. I'm going to let her share her story because it's her story to tell. But we were like, the birthday balloons were for you. Like, it was someone's birthday. And wait, it just gets so much better. So She's like, it's my rebirth day. And I'm like, what a beautiful way to spend your rebirth, connecting with new people and being on the beach and the sound bath. And she was like, I honestly really forgot. And she's like, I'm really grateful that I do have an anniversary because it reminds me of, everything that I've been through and just how strong I am and all that. It was her rebirth day. I'll let her share her details. She'll be on next week. So that was just a fun little wink from the universe. We're sitting there. It's raining. I am at the parking lot. We need to start setting up. I need to get my speaker out. Clouds are gray. It's raining. And I'm just like, nope. So I'm like, in 5 minutes, we're going to start unloading. We just have to. The clock is ticking. I already posted on the AG University podcast page, rain or shine, this event will happen. And obviously, it would have been okay if it was raining a little bit, like a sprinkle, but I did have this very expensive speaker that's very important to the event so that people can hear me. I'm mic'd up, and then also they can move to the music. And the speaker really can't get wet. Fortunately, Taylor, my two sound healers, Taylor and Kristen, who are also my neighbors and my dear friends, they brought a tent to put over all of the instruments. So their musical instruments and then obviously my speaker. So I was like, well, you know what? It's going to all work out. But the girls would have to just lay in the rain. So I was like, in 5 minutes, we're setting up. We start setting up and the rain magically stops. The skies literally part over our sound bath area. I mean, all around us, dark clouds. Over us, and I have pictures, everything I'll post to the AG University page. Over us, it is clear skies and no rain. And you can see rain clouds off in the distance. You can see rain clouds over the ocean. Over our little thing, literally God like shine down on us. My angels put us in a bubble. No rain. The rain stopped. So we all set up. All the girls start coming. I'm getting so excited. I got to meet so many people. So many girls came in from Orlando. Girls came in from all over. I had girls from Georgia. I had, like I said, some from Michigan, some from up north, some from out west, some from east. Like it was just such an amazing group of people, such a beautiful group of girls. And I also had some sound healers that came that are local. They got to experience and enjoy the whole process as well. So it was just a really, really nice blend of people who came from near and far and local. And I got to connect with some local faces too, which was really nice. I got to meet a lot of people. And so we got started in our sound bath. And actually, sorry, we got started first. We did, just to give everybody a flow of the event. First, we did a grounding meditation. So once everyone arrived, everyone found it, everyone had a parking spot, everything worked out perfect. The rain stopped. I'm like, yes. Did a grounding meditation for everyone. And then I said our opening prayer for the Akashic Records, which I've shared in the last 2 episodes. So if you guys want to check it out or hear the prayer, I share the opening prayer. And I also did a unicorn card pull just because that's kind of like my signature. You got to have a fun little unicorn moment. And I really started channeling for this group specifically the emotions that I felt that I could really just sense as soon as I opened up the records. I was like, I could start to see the plane that we were all connected on and everyone in front of me. And the first word that came to me was like commotion. And I thought that was so funny too, because commotion's not something I would typically reach for in my vocabulary, but it was like everyone that's been brought here today, like, I really want you to make commotion. Like, I want you to be fierce. I want you to be loud. I want there to be like you're breathing, you're exhaling, you're stomping, you're punching, like all of these things, because I felt this huge rush of like fire and rage. Like I was like this trapped rage. And I talk a lot about like feminine rage and holy rage and all of these things. And this just felt like a combined, really group of powerful, wise women who were all brought there for a reason, who all have a beautiful purpose, who all feel that they are worthy of the life that they desire. And I was explaining how that this rage can really act as a plug almost. And oftentimes it makes us feel stuck, like physically stuck. Like, why are we not progressing in life? Why are we not, manifesting these things that we want? Or why are we just feeling, I don't know, anything other than the word stuck? And I was just seeing that rage. It wasn't even anger. It was rage. Rage being almost like a plug that keeps all of our emotions subdued. And the more that rage kind of just is lodged there, it creates a little bit of a numbness in our body. And that's what I was seeing amongst this group before me. I was kind of watching the story unravel about their bodies and how they had so much more happiness, so much more love, so much more depth, so many more emotions that they did not even know they had access to, that were readily available to them, it was going to be easy for them to access this information. It was going to be easy for them to tap into these emotions. They just needed to learn how to unplug. I kept seeing like unravel this rage, like just allow it to come out. And the whole point was like, you don't have to go back to every point in your life where you have experienced anger or rage, or if anybody listening who any emotion that you feel maybe you still carry just little remnants of: depression, anxiety, sadness, grief, tired, all those things. You don't have to go back to every point of your life when it happened in order to heal it. I know that maybe people think that they have to identify every single point of pain that's happened to them and then clear it. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes our body is ready to let it go. And if we can put ourselves in the right situation and we use intention and we kind of do this modality that we did yesterday, or even for anybody listening, you put on something at home, and you stomp and just move through it and allow it to exit your body. That's all your body needs. Sometimes it's just permission, time, and space. That's it. Permission, time, and space in order to release. So you don't have to, of course, I would love to have you at all of my events, but I don't want you to feel like I am doing something that only happens, that I have to be present for. Like, you are the healer, you are the medicine, and your body knows what to do. And you just have to have those three things that I said in order to release. And your body doesn't have to label it, doesn't have to know the story, doesn't have to identify it. It can be very easy and very simple, and it doesn't have to be traumatic. So that's just something that I want to leave with you guys. If you're feeling, stuck emotions in the body. And I think sometimes we are always like, ooh, I don't know if I want to like relive that or go through that or experience that pain again. And yes, sometimes that does happen for sure, but it's not most of the time. When we're doing this work, everyone yesterday was like, I felt a massive release and I had so much fun. You can have fun and you can feel good, and you can also release stuff that no longer serves you. And you don't have to remember the experience or the backstory. Most of the time, we do not remember the main micro experience, because it can be something that's micro, and that does not discredit how you feel. That does not discredit your reaction to the experience. Your emotions are valid, even if you feel it was a very micro, little t traumatic event. It's still your experience, and to you're allowed to feel however you want to feel. And I will never, ever, ever let anyone take that away from you. But the good news is that whatever it was, you can always heal from it. You can always release it, and you can have fun doing it. You can dance, you can move, you can scream, you can stomp, you can shake, you can do whatever you want. And that was really what I was, explaining to everyone. I give them kind of a formula. That was, well, first, that was the message that came through, was like commotion and really getting loud and being fierce, and how much just kind of like ferocious energy was in front of me in a really good way. Like someone that's really here to, like, even everyone listening, like, I feel like you're here to really take life by the balls and have like an incredible life. Like, you're here to experience greatness. I really believe that. And this is just a stepping stone in your path, learning this work, learning how to move and release and stretch and expand and soar. That was what I kept telling everyone. It's like, you're ready to soar. You're ready to spread your wings. Don't let this rage or these emotions be a block in the body any longer. Like, let's feel the happiness. Let's feel the depth of our emotions, because we don't want to feel numb. There's so many beautiful experiences awaiting for us, so many things that we haven't experienced yet. And, yeah, that was like kind of the overarching theme of the message. And so from there, we took the girls we just had everybody stand, and we started doing some of the somatic work, which I think people think is going to be like slow and easy. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a lot of the higher intensity movements on footage. Partly, I don't like to film people's face and movement. Like, I want it to be an intimate experience for them, because I don't want them to feel like anyone's watching them. uh and a lot of it, like, I'll show people the moves, and then I invite you to close your eyes and just focus on yourself, focus on your own energy. And if you feel called to doing other moves, great, do that. That way, like, I'm like, this isn't a synchronized swimming routine. Like, we don't have to like sync up and do the can. Like, sure, that sounds kind of fun, but that's not the point. The point is not to be performing. The point is not to be good. The point is not any of that. It's to be messy. And the point is to let your body take over and to move and allow your body to do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to breathe intensely, if it wants to grunt, if it wants to sigh, if it wants to punch the sand, like, let's do it. I'm going to literally let you throw a tantrum right here in front of me, and I'm going to support you. And I'm like, girl, I get it. I get it. I've been there. Sometimes we just need to let that shit go, and we don't even know where it's coming from. And it was really cool because everybody was deeply resonating with the word rage. I had some new moms come up to me. I had a lot of people that were saying they were navigating postpartum and hormone change and illness and grief of loss of partner, but then extensive rage from certain situations that, life has dealt them, and they were ready to let it go. They were ready to let go of just the rage that they had to experience, or they had to experience. And it was really, really powerful. And we did some really fun songs too while we did it. And I mean, we were sweating, we were moving, and even sweat is just a release of energy in itself. So we really hit it hard. And then once we got done doing our somatic movement, we set the intention to release rage. And I taught everybody. I have kind of my own formula, which it's a little hard to explain over the mic. You would have to come to an event, but I have my own formula that I have channeled to help people release those emotions in the body. And we walked down to the ocean, and everybody rinsed off their hands and their feet. It was a little rough for us to swim just because it has been so windy, but we did. We also kind of got down there and just took a little bird bath and flitted around in the water, and everyone was already just feeling so much lighter, so much more confident, so much more connected amongst the group. Because I feel like dance, there's so much science between how dance connects us with our body and others around us, and it brings in so much powerful energy. And then after that, everyone kind of found their seat, and that's when the sound healing started. And it was such a beautiful sound healing session. We had we had a gong, we had a drum, we had multiple drums, we had chimes, we had everything. 2 sound healers going. Shout out to Taylor and Kristen. They're tagged all over my Instagram as well. And my friend Catherine afterwards, she was like, I have never in my life been that still and that present. She's never done a sound bath before. She was like, I've never been so relaxed. And she looked at me and she goes, I could feel when you were doing Reiki over me. I felt something that I'd never felt before. It was so euphoric. It was so magical. And I was like, yeah, that's that was me. I was literally standing over your body. She's like, I knew, because everyone's eyes were closed. She was like, I knew it. I knew you were there. I could feel you. And I was like, girl, I was just sending you all that Reiki energy. So I just went over everyone and just helped clear out their auric fields. And maybe Catherine will share more of her experience next week as well too. But it was just a really gentle, grounding, nurturing Reiki sound healing. And when we got done, we all just kind of grounded, did a little kind of integrated back into the space. And then this is the part where I'm just like, literally, the universe is just so magical. Also in this moment, I have a little caveat. When at some point when I was doing energy work, I had a moment where one of my really good friends popped into my head, and I was like, she's been about to go into labor any day now. And I was like, she's having her baby right now. I just know it. She is in labor. You guys, she literally gave birth at 7:01 p.m. on 9/14. That was exactly when our event was happening, because the event was from 5:30 to 7:30. She gave birth at 7:01. And I was like, I literally knew it. Again, the happy birthday balloons. I kept saying they're for someone's birthday. It's someone today. My literal best friend gave birth during my event. She wasn't at the event, but she was just off in her own in her own space, but it came into my brain. And I was like, it was just so funny because the universe sent us all these happy birthday balloons, because there was no other option. It was just happy birthday. And I was like, you know what? It is someone's birthday today. So it was Catherine's rebirth day. My best friend gave birth quite literally at the exact same time as the event. I sensed her. I really did. While I was doing energy work, all of a sudden she came into my auric field, and I was like, I bet she's either in labor or giving birth right now. Because we knew it was going to be any day. And so our happy birthday balloons did have their moment, which was just really fun, just a sweet little wink. But this is the kicker. So earlier in the day, I was telling Catherine, I have a text message thread with Taylor and Kristen, our sound healers, and Kristen was like, I'm manifesting a rainbow. And I was like, I'm manifesting one too. I haven't seen a rainbow all summer. And at this point, we have concluded our session, and we all circled up and held hands and just kind of connected for a second. And I did a quick meditation where we send loving, healing energy to every single being on the planet. And we imagine that we're encompassing the planet in love. And I also did one where we just gently sent energy to the person beside us, and the person to our right, the person to our left. And we just sent loving, healing energy to all animals, all beings, nature, our planet. And it was just a quick little closing meditation just so everyone could connect. And we opened our eyes. Not only had the skies parted, there was a beautiful little sunbeams coming through and a beautiful rainbow. And I was like, what the heck? This is crazy. We all manifest a rainbow. I haven't seen one all summer. And we sent loving, healing energy to the planet. And I opened my eyes and I was like, everyone was like, look at the rainbow. And I was like, you guys, she heard us. The planet heard us. She knew we were sending her love. And our Mother Nature knew that we were sending her this loving, healing energy. And she smiled back at us and she sent us a rainbow. And it was just so sweet, so beautiful. We all concluded, everyone got together, we took photos, and I got to go around and connect with everyone. I really wanted to connect with everybody on an individual just to thank them for coming, because I know so many people traveled. And it was really cool too. I got a lot of good feedback. I had a couple moms that were like, I would love for you to do this work, this somatic movement part, probably not the Akashic Records, but for kids and teach kids. And then last week I had my physical therapist. She was like, I would love for you to do a somatic movement class with um, some of the older folks that had lost their partner or a loved one, and to help them work through some grief. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll start doing tailored classes for specific age groups. I don't know. We'll see where this unfolds. But it was really cool to get feedback from everyone, because everyone was like, whoa, that was powerful work. And they could really feel it. I think some people didn't know what to expect, and it was really nice. So, because everyone was like, that was so worth the drive, like do more. Yeah. I was like, thanks. I really want to do more. I've got to get married and get Shannon married and a couple things. And then I'll come back to this and hopefully plan another one soon. But we had our beautiful rainbow. All of that happened. We take our photos, and then immediately, boom, as soon as 5:30 to 7:30, our sky parted, our angels parted our little area for us. As soon as 7:30 hit, clouds rolled in and a huge rainstorm was coming, and everyone was like, okay. I was like, and that was it. That was our allotted time. The universe blessed us with this special space. And as soon as we hit, that's a wrap, the rain came. And we got out of there. We packed up just in time, and then the rain just absolutely started pouring. And I like laughed, and Catherine was like, you literally, we were in a bubble. Like, one of my friends was like, how does it feel to control the weather with your brain? And I was like, I actually don't think it was me doing it. I think that event was just meant to happen, and that the universe just had my back. I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but it was just so magical. And it was one of those things that whenever stuff like that happens, even if it's something just to you feels magical, I always feel that it's a sign of alignment. And I knew that the event was supposed to happen, and that everyone that was there was supposed to be there, and they needed to take something away from it. And that I was supposed to step into this role doing events, and that the universe was like, girl, even if the weather's bad, we're going to build a little fort for you for the time being, and allow you to still have a clear space. Oh, and one last little magical thing too. Right when I was about to open the Akashic Records, I checked my phone and I looked down, and one of my really good friends had texted me, and she's like, I just channeled my first message in the Akashic Records in all caps. And she's like, this is so epic. I just took your course and I just channeled and it came through. And she's like, I literally can't even believe it. It was like so much and so many words, and I can't wait to send it to you and all the things. And I was just like, oh, I'm just so excited that the Akashic Records is getting some PR. If anything, I could bring a little PR. It is ancient. I do not claim um I don't know uh, what I'm trying to say. I don't claim inventing it. It has been around since the beginning of time of our planet, but I'm really happy that I've been able to find a community that's excited about learning this work and is bringing it into their own practices, because I know it's only going to create more beautiful magic moments in everybody's life. And I feel that maybe even opening the Akasha Records for this group was able to really create an activation, because that's what it is. It's activation energy, activates you to your highest timeline, just being in the Akashic energy, which is why I think it's so magical, because sometimes you don't even have to do anything. You just say the opening prayer and receive the activation energy. And it was really cool. As I was doing reading for my friends here, I had, another good friend who has her own community that's getting into this work. And I just felt like it was just a really magical day on top of, everybody's the birthday significance, the rebirth that my friend is going through, which she'll share more details. Like I said, she'll be on next week. And even for me, I was like, maybe this was a rebirth day for me as well. Like I truly felt it was the first time I've ever hosted an event solely AG University, solely because usually I'll go and like guest teach, or I'll do like a guest appearance, or even my retreats I partner with a company that makes them happen because there's so many logistics at play. But it was the first time that I was like, I did this whole thing start to finish. I packed the car, I packed all the equipment. Like I absolutely do have an amazing support system with my sound healers, my fiance, my stepson, everybody that helped me. But it was cool for me to really take on this role of teaching this work in person and physically getting everybody to move their bodies together. That's just like always been a dream of mine. So I was like, maybe this marks a rebirth for me as well. Like just stepping into this role and just being more confident, channeling for people live, and, you know, encouraging their gifts. And I just, even if it's something small, you always hope that it creates a positive ripple, and all the work that all of us do every single day. So it was just all around such a great experience. And I had to tell you about those synchronicities because I feel I've been living in a really synchronistic timeline lately, and where like the magic is happening. The sky parts, the rainbow comes. It's like I haven't seen a rainbow all summer, and then finally I have a perfect rainbow right here over my event. And I just felt like, all is right in the world. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, even though I have so many questions. I have so, I have so many, I'm like, should I do more events? Where should I go next? Everyone was like, come to here, come to Orlando, all these things. And I have literally no idea what I'm doing in that space, like what the business model is or how it looks. But I just knew in that moment everything was perfect. And I was like, I don't need to know. I don't even need to know. It's all going to unravel perfectly because I got so many signs and confirmation. And all last week leading up to the event, I was seeing one-on-one. I spent $111 at the grocery store. My friend Catherine was like, hey girl, I'm getting in the car. My ETA is one-on-one. And that for me is always just like the ultimate. It's almost like if you're on a new journey, like this new journey is in alignment with you. And I was like getting one-on-one like crazy. And so, yeah, all the signs are pointing yes, but I just want you guys to hear my story too. That doesn't mean that I know all the answers. I have no idea how this is going to look or what shape it's going to take, or it's a bit events are, outside of my current business model, but I don't know. It just feels right. And I know when it feels right, the universe is going to make it happen in a really easeful way. And the parts and pieces always fall into place. They really do. And even my friend Taylor right now, like she is expanding her business, and she keeps saying like, I just can't believe how like a location dropped in and a new support system dropped in and people to help her and come work for her. And I was like, I really do feel like when you are in alignment, if you call in help, the universe is like, girl, we got you, because it's part of your mission, it's part of what you're here to do. And that if you're coming from a place of service, wanting to help people, or a place of healing or whatever, I really do believe that if you're acting in service, that you're always going to be supported. And it can be in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be sound healing or anything. It could be cooking or singing or performing. And there's so many ways that we can bring people together in community and share our gifts and be seen and be heard. And I hope that maybe this encourages you to get outside of your comfort zone and try something new. And I promise you that you will be supported, because this was something new for me, and hosting pretty much in my own hood, my own neighborhood. It was really, really cool to yeah, step into this space. So anyways, that is our event recap, along with the message that I kind of shared for the girls, and then kind of how it all went down. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who has come, who has shared my podcast, who shared my information, who supported me on this journey. And thank you for, allowing me to be your AG University professor. And I can't wait for next week's episode as well, because it's going to be a really good one. I'm going to be off in Italia, and I'm going to be getting my best friend married, and I'm going to be kind of bouncing around a good bit. But honestly, I'm feeling really good on getting episodes out and about the wedding. Actually, I'm gonna have my wedding officiant come on too and maybe share some of our wedding rituals and vows after they take place as well. So I have some more intimate podcasts I feel coming through this season, and I'm just really grateful that you're here, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope that you look for magic, because magic is all around you. It's in the clouds, it's in the sunbeams that beam down, it's in the wind, it's in everything. You just got to stop and listen and look around and go within, and you will see magic everywhere, because we live in a magical world. And I will forever believe that. And I love you. Okay, bye. As always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel so called, or if it feels aligned, I would love for you to leave me a review here. I always love reading your beautiful thoughts and messages. And also, you can find me at Anna Grace Newell on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I will link all of my courses, AG University course curriculum, in the show notes, along with, if you're interested in booking an Akashic Records reading with me, my scheduling link goes out in my newsletter. It goes out once a month and it's completely free. I would love to have you there. As always, I'm a proud professor, and you get an A+ for making it all the way through the end. Love you.